Welcome back to the Pop of the Man podcast. I'm your host, Jay. With me today, I have my always loyal co-host. I have Cord with us. What's up, Cord?
How you been? How you been? Chaos is a ladder. Queen Maeve Hive in the building.
We got the number one Suns fan in the nation. We got Cam with us. What's up, Cam?
Man, you already know what it is. Suns Nation, baby.
We got our basketball analyst joining us today. We got Jarquiz. What's up, Jarquiz?
What it do? What it do?
And then we got the brains behind the operation. We got DeLon with us. What's up, DeLon?
Assalamu alaikum, brother Jordan. The series is 3-2. The day of reckoning is upon us.
A day of reckoning.
And you know what we do. We give you our takes on basketball, music, and everything in between. I believe this is episode 114 of the Pop of the Man podcast. We don't have any real announcements other than make sure you follow us on Twitter at Podcast of Man. Make sure you check us out on all streaming services. If you are watching this on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Do all those beautiful things for us. We're glad to have you. We'll get right into the show, and we'll get the ball rolling.
That looks very Illuminati.
Hey, man. It was 2011, 2012. It was a different time.
But Jay Electronica, after teasing that he was going to release his debut album, Act 2, back in 2011, and then disappearing for like the next decade, he then released a brand new album where he was basically, it was like a collab album with Jay-Z earlier in this year called Written Testimony. And we was like, oh, wow, we're glad to get this. But like, what happened to Act 2? Whatever happened to the album he was working on? It had Kanye features, Erykah Badu, Diddy, and all them guys on it. What happened to that album? Well, a group of hackers hacked and stole the album, and then a group of people bought the leak, and then they posted it on social media, which forced Jay Electronica's hand, and then made him actually release Act 2 on streaming services so he could actually recoup the revenue from the music being released. A decade later, we finally got the album. Guys, how did you feel seeing this album finally fall into our hands as fans?
It's been 84 years, but I'm happy. I'm happy, man. Y'all know, man, like this entire year, like the album just got to be amazing for me to just really take time and listen to it multiple times. And I have been listening to this album on repeat all week long. And that's how you know 2020 is a crazy year. Just when you think this year can't get any more wild, we got not one, but two Jay Electronica albums. We're up in the end, fam. I ain't never seen nothing like this. I enjoyed it. Beginning to end. Only complaint. I'ma need him to get up out the bed, go to the studio, and finish Night at the Round Table. I need it. That's all I ask.
Because the thing is, I don't think we were ever going to get this album. Jay Electronica
At all.
Jay Electronica trying to make it sound like, oh, I was planning on releasing this. No, we only got it because it's leaked. And I know that because of the fact that
it's been 9 years, buddy.
Yeah, not only that, it's the fact that multiple songs on the album are just incomplete. Like you could just tell that some are even like kind of like rough demos where he's kind of like just like kind of halfway rapping. There was one song in particular, I'm drawing a blank on the name of the song.
Night at the Round Table.
Yeah, he was like halfway rapping on it and like muttering as if he was just like just kind of like a reference track almost. And I can't sit and believe that you were gonna go back and finish this song after all these years. You had all this time to do it. Like you were never gonna do it.
9.
He did do that on the Written Testimony too. I will say that.
What's that?
He did do that one song where he went na. Like, get out of here.
But even then, like the mixing things on the
it was complete.
Yeah, the mixing and the producing on the album was incomplete. Where he was a little too loud, or the production was a little too low on a couple of songs. So it was just clear that this album was not being worked on. This album was no closer to being done than it was back in 2011. So, DeLon, I want to ask you this. After hearing the album in its totality, because the album was almost finished, though. That's the thing about it. The only thing this leak was missing was like 2 or 3 songs finished mixing. That wouldn't have took nothing. Obviously, it wasn't a sample problem because the album leaked and he released it like the next day. So it wasn't like he was waiting on samples to get cleared. So it wasn't that issue. So it wasn't a sample clearance issue.
And it's the thing. This man had a David Bowie sample and a King Crimson sample. How did he get that off in a day?
Exactly. So he always had it clear.
How you get that off in a day?
He always had it
clear. This is 2 of their biggest albums.
Exactly. So my question is this, because we know it wasn't a sample problem. Clearly, like it would take no time to finish mixing those last couple songs if it was that. And I know he wasn't really struggling to make a verse for that nice roundtable song unless he was going to keep it that way. It wasn't a matter of the album which is so far away to finish. At that time, Kanye West gave him 2 features, so I know it wasn't like, and you know Jay-Z and him are cool, so it wasn't no like, well, Kanye don't want his features on his album anymore, so I gotta wait till, you know, no, it wasn't nothing like that. Diddy was cool too, Erykah Badu was straight, all those people were straight. So Delon, So Delon, after hearing this album, after finally getting it, why do you think we never got it when we did back in 2011?
I think it's simply he didn't like the album. Because when he went on Twitter, he was genuinely surprised that people liked the album. I understand because I was genuinely surprised that people liked the album as well. But he seemed genuinely surprised and happy that people like it was a well-received album. Like, oh my gosh, you know, I guess I'll drop this. And being that it was so incomplete, you know, I just feel like he's such a perfectionist. He didn't like the way everything sounded. He has very complex rhyme schemes. Everything from the first line is connected to the thing on the 80th line. He just wasn't finished with it, and he didn't like it. And I got to the point where he just said, fuck it. And then Jay-Z said, let's do this collab album. He did that instead. He just wiped his hands clean, except for Shiny Suit Theory for the 50th time.
For the 50th time. It's a great collab.
Shiny Suit Theory, one more time. Still haven't fixed it yet either. But yeah, he just didn't like the album.
Yeah,
we're doing the review tomorrow, people listening. So if you hear like me sounding completely different on about my opinions on this album, it must have clicked overnight, but don't count on it.
Yes, that's right. That's why I meant to mention at the beginning of the topic. We are doing an official Act 2 by Jay Electronica review. That'll be separate from this episode. So right now we're just talking about, you know, general things about the album. Cord, Delon, and I believe the homie Daniel will actually talk about the music, get really deal into the songs and what reason why they didn't like it and why they did like it. So today we're just really more so just talking about why we never got this album and like, you know, the business around it. Because I do agree, Delon, Jay Electronica is a bit of a perfectionist, not even a bit, like a lot of a perfectionist. Yeah. And I can see, and it's kind of funny because like getting this whole album, I'm realizing that we always had this track list, and like I love Better in Tune with the Infinite. I realized, so wait, that was supposed to be on Act 2. So he's been slowly releasing the album song by song, like over
years.
Road to Perdition, like that's
been out.
That's been out too. Like he's been slowly releasing the album song by song for years. And I guess he was going to just keep doing that until he said, "Hey y'all, that was Act 2." Yeah, I loved it. Right? Like, you know, I thought that was so weird. I thought it was so weird he could be releasing these singles and people responding so positively to it, and yet he still didn't feel confident in the actual music.
And I think it's also he was wanting to do such a grand debut album. Now that he has an album out of the way, he's just like, fuck it at this point.
Yeah.
So I could just see him doing whatever on that front.
I know. I also think to myself too, and I don't know how big of a deal this was, and it probably wasn't. It's probably, like I said, it was all Jay Electronica's call, and he didn't actually want to put this album out, and he didn't think it was perfect. But I'm gonna ask you this: do y'all think that Jay-Z could have played a role in him thinking this album wasn't perfect? But there was like one kind of love songish song on there where he was kind of like halfway singing, halfway rapping.
Jay-Z had a feature on Mr. Nice Watch.
Yeah, true. Good,
it was about the same time, and
Jay-Z told J. Cole he had to have a hit single before he put his album out, so he had to make a song like Workout. Do y'all think that Jay-Z possibly told Jay Electronica random? You think he was that oblivious? I would say oblivious or incompetent enough to tell Jay Electronica, hey, you got to make a workout for me to put your album out, otherwise it's not coming out. Do you think Jay-Z would have done something like that?
I hope not.
I pray to God not.
Nah. I don't have any commentary on that. Just nah. That couldn't. Jay Electronica was never that rapper. I mean, Cole, even because J. Cole always says like the song "Lights Please" is what made Jay-Z sign and want to talk to him. Even that had crossover appeal. J. Cole has had those songs before he was signed that did that. Jay Electronica just rapped for 5 minutes. There's nothing about Jay Electronica pre-Jay-Z that says we need this to do that.
I'm also going to say this. Jay Electronica is terrible at love songs, by the way. Like, absolutely horrible. Like, I don't know. It sounds so awkward and weird hearing him talk about a woman on track. I don't know. It might just be me. I guess I'm the only one that feels that way. But glad we finally got the album. Shout out to Jay Electronica for finally getting his moment. on a written testimony. Shout out to him finally getting his moment with that too, and finally getting that weightless off his shoulders. I guess my only last question is: do you think we get another album ever from Jay Electronica? Like, because
nah, that's it. This is it. Grand opening, grand closing. I appreciate both of them.
I think we do because I was a little dicey after the first album because mixed reviews, blah blah blah. But people really do seem to love this album, and Jay Electronica has always been. If people appreciate one breadcrumb, he'll give you another one. But like I said, now he's actually putting out albums. So
2045,
2045, featuring Sir Carter.
Over.
Just Sir Carter.
Over or under 10 songs on his next album?
Under.
Yeah.
Bro, we getting 5 leaks in 2045.
We getting 8 20-minute songs.
Yeah.
All of them letters to Fallon and Shiny Suit Theories.
Facts.
And then the one song that's nice. It's gonna be an interlude where somebody's talking for the entire song.
Yeah.
Yes. So no, wait. No. It's gonna be somebody talking. No, it's gonna be a Trump rally over like a Imagine Dragon sample. That's what it's gonna be. 2045.
And somewhere in there, he's gonna get in a Louis Farrakhan excerpt.
Facts. That man had a Dick Tracy ad playing over King Crimson on the. It was fire though. It was fire.
This nigga's in the studio doing shit. My God! Oh my God!
Well,
it's a waste of fucking time.
I was like, I rock with it. It was like when I heard, I'm like, wait, what is this? Don't listen. Is this a Dick Tracy ad? Is this King Crimson playing? I was so confused. I was like, but you know what? For some reason, it works.
Hey, you know how like in like 2013, if you went on YouTube, there was like every like random producer trying to make some random beat with the Looney Tunes Gucci Mane.
Yeah.
That's what this Jay Electronica album feels like. This Shirley Temple Jay Electronica type beat. Like why?
Not to mention like on his old music, I always thought it was funny how like he'll be rapping about like
classic movies.
Like he'd be like rapping about the levee break-in, being persecuted as a black man, and then how the U.S. government has failed black people as a whole, and then the song would end with a Willy Wonka at the end talking about you lose, you get nothing. Good day, sir.
One day Jay Electronica gonna learn how to do a hook, and then we're gonna be all better off for it. One day,
I would say
he wants to find some random excerpt to put in there in place of a hook because he can't find like 20 words.
Damn,
the fact that in 2012 we never got a Jay Electronica. I don't know what 2012 Jay Electronica and Lana Del Rey. They whole thing was we taking all the movies, everything from the 60s, we throwing it on the track. All of it except the racism. Everything else, we putting it in it. We putting it on the track.
Lana Del Rey might.
I need to take
in hindsight, Lana Del Rey might be slipping in that racism. We might just be asleep.
You know what? She probably was.
Moving on to the first basketball topic of the evening. I want to talk to you guys about Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis currently in the finals. Anthony Davis is in his first finals ever. In his playoff run, he is averaging 28 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, a block and a steal a game. He is shooting like 56% from the field, 40% from 3, 84% from the free throw line. He's absolutely been killing it from mid-range, shooting like close to like 50, 40-something% from that range. He's been a monster. So Jaquez asked the question, and he said, how far away is he from being one of the greats? How far is he from catching, like a Tim Duncan or like Kevin Garnett? I want to ask you, before we talk about his place all time as a power forward, where do you guys have Anthony Davis currently right now in the league? Where has he cemented himself in the current league today in terms of like top 5, top 10, top 20? Wherever y'all got him at?
Hey man, I said he won that girl, and he is that girl. That boy top 6. I ain't gonna hold you.
Top 6.
Well, so and it's interesting because we can't displace Steph and KD because I mean we can't take nothing away from them just off the strength that what they were before, like pre-injury, and we expect the injuries that they did have aren't going to derail them too much. I don't know how well KD is going to come back from his Achilles, but I would expect
coming back strong.
Yeah. Steph coming back strong for sure because of all the slander. And KD looking real good in the Laugh Now Cry Later video, so I'm not too worried about KD. But if we being honest, I mean I think I'm with Cord on this one. probably number 6 behind LeBron, Kawhi, Steph, Giannis, and KD. Not in that order, somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Somewhere.
I'm willing to move Giannis out of the top 5, but
I am really close to doing it. I'm really close to doing it.
Because I've seen AD hit too many clutch threes, and threes. Like 2 things I have seen from Giannis in the last 2 years.
Not even just
and
threes.
Anthony Davis, Anthony Davis did the thing that Giannis wouldn't do. Somebody had switched to Jimmy Butler. Anthony Davis decided to take that assignment.
We forgot Harden.
No, we didn't forget.
We didn't forget Harden. Listen, man, Anthony Davis has just been Anthony Davis has been such a known that I'm putting him over Giannis.
Harden and Giannis out of the top 5.
Yeah, I'm be honest.
AD get MVP, Finals MVP.
I mean, irregardless if he gets it or not, I think I'm ready to do that for the simple fact that, like I said, I'm cool with putting Bron, KD, Kawhi, Curry all in front of AD. Those are proven commodities who have gotten it done in the playoffs, gotten their teams all the way to the finals, and been the best player on the finals team. Despite Curry not having a finals MVP, he definitely was the best player on that first title team. The judges were just bugging.
Well, and then we gotta think too. How would we be judging these other guys, Harden, Giannis? How would we be judging them if they were playing alongside LeBron James?
Also true,
because it makes their jobs a lot easier. It makes the job a lot easier.
Now, see, I would say this, and I told someone else this too. If Giannis was on LeBron James' team, that was not going to make Giannis a better jump shooter. Like, Giannis was going to start hitting threes because he's playing next to LeBron James. Like, he was not going to gain that ability just by being on his team. And that's probably my biggest dig right now with Giannis. Is that if the game is on the line, AD has shown that he can go for the last shot. He could be the guy who takes that last shot. He could be a guy who gets you buckets throughout the game. And he's also showing that he's actually a bigger game changer on the defensive end. The thing that separated those two so far has been AD shot making and Giannis's passing. And it was just a matter of what you can do it all. It's a matter of what you prioritize. But Giannis passing, I think, is more important, more valuable for a team. Because, if you got a guy who can pass and create for others, that can take you pretty far. AD's only as good as the best passer in his team. But at the same time, in the playoffs it's more important to be a tough shot maker, a shot creator. And that's what is more valuable in the playoffs. That's why AD has been able to win his team games late in games, while Giannis struggles to make an impact late in games in the playoffs. That's if the line between them, like, to me, they was like right here and right here, was Giannis being a little bit better. But after seeing what AD is able to do, we'll be able to hit timely shots in the fourth quarter, as well as being able to get timely blocks and stops. I have to say the AD is better than him. Now, the thing with Harden is a lot more tricky. DeLon, you want to explain why you would take Anthony Davis over Harden?
Because Harden's he's just streaking inconsistent. Like, it's just simply that. Like, the highs from Harden are higher on offense, but I mean,
he took his team to multiple Western Conference Finals.
That's great. Anthony Davis at any given night is the best person on offense and the best person on defense in the Lakers.
But where does it take
James
him
Harden
without LeBron?
Where is Harden without? I'm not saying.
I mean, come on now.
I'm about to say without Dan Tony.
I'm gonna say this too, Corey. Like,
Western Conference Finals. Come on.
All right. Well, he's not gonna put up the same numbers that he was pre-Dan Tony without Dan Tony. We just know he's not. Well, if the coach has any spine.
I'm gonna say to you what, Corey, and I get you trying to save it with, like, what if they play with those guys, but, like, Anthony Davis, like, LeBron James is the best player in the league right now. And Anthony Davis has legitimately looked like he is the superior player on the team. Like, he looks.
That's true.
So that's why I won't go with the whole AD got LeBron, so it's easier. But I mean, like, he's just, like, flat out just looking better than LeBron. Even arguably could steal Finals MVP from. Well, at this point, I think LeBron's actually going to get it after that last.
I'm gonna say this. I feel like for Giannis and Harden, and they both have realized this playoffs, you need. I guess you throw Kawhi in there too. You need a legitimate co-star. I'm sorry, PG, but you need a legitimate co-star. if I'm James Harden, if I'm Giannis, I'm trying to team up. You need somebody. Like when you look at what the Lakers are doing, like all year we said, well, they ain't got the right pieces with around, they ain't got the right bench, they ain't got this, that, and the third. It really don't matter. When you got two players just go step up when you need them to, everybody else, you know what I'm saying? Like you can just throw pieces in there. So if I'm the Bucks, if I'm the Rockets, I'm looking at Chris Middleton, I'm looking at Russell Westbrook. Ain't enough. You got to do something.
All I'm saying is I feel that argument chord. But that excuse works a little bit more for Harden because he had to go up against the Warriors all those years, and this year he played the Lakers. That excuse doesn't. It's not an excuse for Giannis because he coming out the East. Like you can't lose to Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero and Bam, and then say that's the issue. Like
at least you can't lose in the fashion that you lost. Like losing in 5.
Exactly. 5 games.
It was embarrassing.
Because right now the
I might be muted.
Yeah. And right now the what's his name? Right now the Heat are pushing the Lakers to a game 6. So they're a tough team, but like the fact that they went out in 5 says a lot about. I feel like a lot more about the Bucks than it does the Heat. Sadly.
And also, if the Bucks would have made it to the finals, I don't think this series would have went this long.
I don't know because.
I think the Lakers will knock them out early if we keep it in the Bucks.
I mean, you know what? I gotta say that too. I think you might be right. Well, I don't know. It's a hard sell because Giannis would be able to actually match up with AD defensively. He should be able to. Let me put it like that. He should be able to. That's what I'm going to ride on. But like
if I'm Giannis, I'm looking at their front office. I'm applying some pressure. Bring me a superstar. Bring me somebody.
It's only like
now.
It's only like 7 superstars in the league, though. It's gonna be tough to get. KD's firmly where he's gonna be. AD and Bron are firmly where they're gonna be. I guess there's
so many of those superstars can shoot.
That's true. Hey, you better call little baby. Get Harden on that phone.
Nah, they ain't got the access to Harden. They don't.
Hey man, go to every strip club on the Mason-Dixon line. He hit one on.
My thing about Giannis is the answer to stopping him was so simple that I can't have him in my top 5 if everyone's if the only way to stop Giannis is everybody just stand on the free throw line. Boom. I can't put him above. I can't put him above Anthony Davis. Because Anthony Davis is gonna get a bucket around that. You'll have to do something. Niggas is literally lined up. It was like a Revolutionary War, and everybody had a musket. Everybody lined up.
So you supposed to be the best player in the league, and in the Miami Heat just go Bam Adebayo, get him.
MVP can only score from 15 feet.
And that really sucks for Giannis because we punish Ben Simmons so much for not making any progression at all, and then we look at Giannis, and he actually made a lot of progression year to year on his shot, and it's just not enough.
Well, see, I'll say this: it's enough to the point that it's gotten him MVPs. It's enough that it's got him in the top 10. Ben Simmons with no shot.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons probably isn't a top 20 player. I don't.
That's facts.
You see what I'm saying? His shot has gotten him far, but if we want to talk about him being top 5 in the league,
and I guess the more praise we give you,
the more we expect out of you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna say that I think Ben get more slander because he went Embiid. If he was on a team full of shooters, it wouldn't matter as much. But if you on a team where you don't have enough shooters and you refuse to shoot, it looks way worse.
Yeah, it's
way worse.
It's clearly handicapping the team, and that's why people be on Embiid. I mean, not Embiid, but Simmons is so hard. So I'm gonna ask y'all this: How far is Anthony Davis away from catching guys like Kevin Garnett, who has a ring, catching Charles Barkley, who doesn't have a ring, or catching Dirk, or even catching, he's pretty far away from catching Duncan, I would say, in terms of all-time greatness, because Duncan's a top 10 player. So what does he have to do to, I'll say, I think pass KG and Dirk?
Keep it up.
Well, and I think it's interesting because when we look at the top 10 players, or if we're talking all-time NBA players, if we look at the top 10, we say Tim Duncan. Then who's the next power forward we mentioned? Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, but in talent wise, I feel like Anthony Davis. Of course, we can't just go off talent because we never have done it.
No.
But if we look at it, AD isn't far behind where those he's. I feel like right now he's better than those guys were, like strictly talent wise.
Yeah.
But he's gonna have to stack some more accomplishments. Should have gotten a defensive player this year, but I'm not here to make that argument. But probably gonna have to get some defensive player of the year awards. Might have to get an MVP once LeBron is gone and not as good anymore. But like, I mean, if we look at the top guys, a lot of them either don't have a ring or only have one ring. And of the rings that they do have, they weren't Finals MVP. So I mean,
I think it's
he's not. I'm about to say he's not too far off.
I think it's better to have this conversation more so talk about talent, because career-wise, it's obvious that he hasn't done enough to be, to pass a Dirk who has an MVP or pass a KG who has an MVP and a ring. So I think it's better to talk about talent, and I think you're absolutely right. I do think AD is a better talent than some of those guys, because like I said, he's shooting like 50, 40, 84 in this playoff run. Like he's shooting like prime Dirk while being able to defend like a KG. Like it's ridiculous that a guy is able to be a mixture of both of those things, and put it all together game to game and do it consistently game to game. Like there's no I'm gonna play offense this game, there's no I'm gonna play defense this game. No, he does it every single game consistently, and that's what made me think like, okay, this guy definitely got to be top 5, because we get the best. We get a guy who could possibly be the best offensive player and the best defensive player on the court for both teams any given night.
Also, due to a small time period handicap, I think it'll be impossible for him to catch the individual accolades, because I don't know, definitely not in the next 5 to 10 years.
It's been like 8 years, right?
He's been league
2011. But I don't think we're going to see a 4 or 5 win MVP ever again if they're not like a run and gun type, Giannis type 4 or 5. So that being said, I just don't think it is possible that Anthony Davis can catch them like MVP wise and all that kind of stuff.
Well, and that's why I mentioned the defensive player of the year as well, and like all defensive first teams, all NBA first teams, like MVP. That's gonna be a tough argument. That's gonna be a tough bargain. But I mean, also the Lakers' offense could change once LeBron is gone as well. So we never know how that could work.
Was Dirk
I
the
don't
last?
think they're gonna vote for that anymore. They're not gonna vote for it.
Was like Dirk the last like real power forward big man? The person who doesn't handle the ball. Was he the last guy like that to win MVP? Because this past decade, it was like Bron, Curry, Harden, Durant. Guys who had the ball a lot in their hands, guys who create for themselves and others a lot. Rose. Yeah, I think Dirk was the last guy to win MVP.
Dirk and KG.
Yeah, them the last guys.
Yep, Dirk got it in 06, 07. The last winners after that were Kobe, LeBron, Derrick Rose, KD, Steph, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and Giannis.
I think 04-05 was KG. So
yeah, and so Giannis kind of broke the mold a little bit by being a big man to win the award in the past decade. But he's just tall. He doesn't actually play like that. So to be a guy like AD, we talked about value and we talked about how valuable it is to be able to pass. I don't know if LeBron takes a bigger backseat next season. I think the Lakers could still be a number 1 seed, and in that case, it'll be clear. Anthony Davis is the clear de facto better player on the team. Then maybe he can win it. But catching the other guys isn't gonna be that hard, because a lot of guys only have like 1 MVP and like 1 ring. Like in terms of the power forwards do all time. Like Dirk got 1 MVP, got 1 ring. KG got 1 ring, 1 MVP. Barkley has 1 MVP, no rings. Malone has, I think, 2. Oh no, I think he got 1 MVP. He got 1 MVP, no rings. But it's not. And he's about to have his first ring, and then after that, it's like MVPs, defensive player of the years.
Now, Jordan, I do want to caution us all, because I remember last Saturday when we recorded the podcast, we said this is gonna be over Monday. We ain't gonna be talking about this on Saturday. So I just, I just want to calm down with our verbiage.
Slow it down.
No, you're right. You're right.
I'm playing that.
1 week ago, we said we ain't gonna be talking about this in 2 days.
No,
hey man, because if Jimmy Butler able to pull something off, we're gonna be having a whole nother conversation next week.
Dead ass.
Duncan Robinson ready to do it.
Dead ass, everybody. Jaquez wanted to have this conversation last week, but I say
top 5 shooting guard all time.
But I say it's too early to have this conversation. let's at least wait till next Saturday when this series will be over. I will admit, I thought the series would be over. I'll admit, I've been wrong about.
The best stretch four in the Eastern Conference history.
I have been wrong. I'm ignoring core people. I have been wrong about the Heat in every series.
Over Luka.
Who?
Hey, I'm pushing the agenda. Hey man, if the Heat make it happen, we get some new agendas out here.
All right, I don't even know what core talking about anymore. So let's.
Hey, before we move on, I just want to mention that KG won in 03-04 and Dirk won in 06-07. The player to win the 2 years between there was Steve Nash.
Yes, sir.
In case y'all didn't know, yeah, back to back.
He robbed Shaq for one.
I just had that big gap in my knowledge, Cam. I just had I wonder who won them 2 years in between those two.
He robbed Shaq.
He robbed
Shaq for one.
I thought it was two different players. I thought it was
and Kobe for the other one. Don't forget about that one, cool.
Hey, we went over that. We talked about
debatable.
One around.
Moving on to the next topic, I want to talk to you guys about Benny the Butcher's newest single, which featured Lil Wayne, and he blacked out the other name to make it a surprise on who was the other guest feature. But then everybody immediately said it was Big Sean. Like, I don't know how they knew already that it was Big Sean, but it turned out it actually was Big Sean. So spoiled that surprise. It was a very, very good song. Benny snapped, Lil Wayne snapped, Big Sean snapped. I wanted to ask you guys who you think had the best verses on this song. But before that, I want to ask a kind of not musical question, more so about the career-wise of Benny Butcher. He has a Big Sean and Lil Wayne feature. Griselda don't usually go grab features like that. I might be blanking. They usually don't get mainstream acts like that on their songs. It's usually like them, other Griselda members, a bunch of obscure names we've never seen before, like Stove God Steve. I think that's his name. I think I butchered that. It's not that. No pun intended. But usually the guys he gets on the song
close enough.
Yeah, usually the guys he get on his records are a lot more underground. DeLon, word to Daniel. DeLon, can this be the album that pushes Benny the Butcher into mainstreamism? If you think this single featuring these big mainstream names is indicative of what we will get on the album in like a week?
Listen, man, I'll tell you what. When I look at Griselda and I look at their features on their albums, I think Michelle Williams didn't have those features. Kelly Rowland didn't have those features. You know who had Jay-Z on their first single? Beyonce. I think it's time, Benny. I think it's time for him to take that step. I think it's time for him to sell. I think he might push 90 to 120K first week. I think it's that time. Big Sean and Wayne rapping well. He got the Drake beat. Well, there's a Drake and Benny the Butcher song somewhere from February. It's somewhere. I don't know if it's on the Drake album. I'm going to probably say it's not on the Drake album. A Drake feature is gonna do that, Cord.
I want to DeLon, Drake had
Drake,
a lot
Lil Wayne, Big Sean.
Hey man, 90.
Man, I'm telling you.
Okay, in max 65. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
If this has the features that I'm assuming that this album will have because of how he's going, how he's moving, how we see him in the studio, that body. I think it's time.
I want 40 to 65.
And Hip Boy, and Hip. Come on now.
75 if he lucky.
All right.
Well, I'll tell you what, I forgot about that Drake feature, and seeing how Drake's album is certified, is it Certified Lover Boy? Is the name of the album?
Yes.
I can't imagine Benny Butcher being on an album titled Certified Lover Boy. So I could definitely see Drake maybe making
so much. But I don't know.
I could definitely imagine that Drake is actually going to be on this album. But then again, I feel like if Drake was on this album, Benny would have used that as the single. Or unless he just wants it to be a single.
Nah, I don't think so.
Good point.
That's not what Benny do.
I guess you're right.
He always has like all the better, the actually most of Griselda doesn't. They always have like those more higher profile features, not the singles.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a push feature we didn't hear until the album came out. We just had Conway drop. There was some decent features on there. They never put out the Freddie single. They really don't do singles.
No, they don't.
But I don't know. My thing is, if the Drake and Benny song gets a music video, because you know Drake is good for a good music video.
I don't think has there ever been a Drake feature that was not a single? Like I can't think of
21 Savage and Bryson Tiller last week.
Oh yeah, you're right. That was not a single. Unless he turns, unless he does the video stuff for it, start promoting it that way. But as of now, that song is not. No, neither one of those songs are features. But the majority of the time, people always use that feature like, "Oh, this is gonna run them numbers up. Like, let's push it. Let's push it."
Oh, wait. Travis Scott, Sicko Mode.
Nah, that's definitely a single. They got to.
Well, I mean, it wasn't, but it didn't come out till the album came out.
Yeah, we ain't found out yet. Wait,
we didn't know. We didn't know there was on there though. Man,
90 to 100.
I'm telling you.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, Corey, DeLon don't be wrong that often. So this might be the one time you might get to say, "Hey, DeLon, you're wrong." This might be the one time.
But not they have.
Now granted. This is under this is under the assumption that this isn't just going to stop at Wayne and Big Sean.
Yeah, we're assuming that there's going to be other high-profile mainstream names on this album.
If this is the Jay feature, if this is Benny's associated with some very high-profile acts that he has never used a feature for, and he is the most marketable person in Griselda, the one that would get those features, the one that would do it, the one that everyone respects the most. So if we're looking at those people who would do the features, if they would do it with anybody in Griselda, it would be Benny.
I also think it's
Jay's not doing the West Side Gun feature.
I also think I think I saw West Side Gun said like if he wanted to, he can get like all those Wu-Tang. He said I can get this person, I can get this legend, I can get Nas on my next album, and it'll be the best album ever. And I think it's so crazy. Like, why do Griselda have these kind of connects, or is it just that easy to get these kind of people on your album? Yeah,
well, they're from New York. They're signed to Griselda. Or they're signed to Rock Nation.
They restoring the feeling.
They're signed to a few of them, or them as a unit, are signed to Shady. They have the connections.
Hey man, they restoring the fit. Think about this. New York been begging for this for a decade. They better get them some free features.
And I will say, as West Side Gun's albums have come out this year, they've gotten a lot more feature heavy. This last one, was the West Side of the Common one. One of them had like 10 features on it that weren't all like Buffalo niggas.
Yeah, it's just so crazy to me. They probably the most plugged in underground group I've ever seen.
It's facts.
It's bewildering. I guess they're only underground because of their style, not because of their corporate business. Like they're signed to major labels. They work with big time artists like Busta Rhymes and legends and shit like that. And now Lil Wayne and Big Sean, but their music is never going to get mainstream play, and that might be what ultimately holds them back from reaching that number that you said, the line of 98K to 100. But we shall see.
That being said, this single did have a very different sound than the rest of those other songs that they put out.
It did, because it had Hit Boy producing it and not Derringer.
So is this the one that could?
If they got some outside producers in there, which it sounds like since they got Hit Boy on the single, it could be that this could be the one. I'm excited. I'm so excited to see Benny Butcher go in a different direction. But before we go into the next topic, I want to ask you guys, rank the verses. Who do you think had the best verses on this song?
I didn't listen to them in depth enough to rank them. I'll be honest with you, because especially Benny, I don't want to listen to singles. I really went to the single to make sure Big Sean went on no bullshit, as people always say, and then make sure Lil Wayne still had a pulse. That's why I came. I was like, all right, I like what I'm hearing, and I got out of there. So I really can't say.
Well, I'm gonna say after we made that post last week on the on Twitter where you said that JID's the best quads he never won, the best guest feature or whatever, the best guy on a song full of other people, Benny gonna shine. I think Lil Wayne and Big Sean verses were both better than Benny's. I think that I was listening after I heard both verses. I said and thought to myself like, wait a damn minute,
we pushing agendas
because people already told me Lil Wayne verse was better than Benny's, and when I heard it, I said, okay, yeah. I definitely see that. And the thing is,
Sean was talking that I got my master's talk. Come on now.
I heard nobody say anything about Big Sean's verse, which is very peculiar because if it's bad, that's all you hear. So now it makes sense why I didn't hear anything because it was actually really, really good and nobody wanted to admit it.
Be hating.
Nah, he was spitting. We'll see. What his verse said? What was it? To multiply, I give it my undivided.
Big Sean Hill in 2020.
Come on, man. To multiply, I give it my undivided. You gotta be fast. Think faster, man.
So wait, what about that? What about that good music bar? What about that? I was good, now I'm great.
Nah, I like the bars.
I mean, like, what about it?
Oh, what about it? Okay, so I think that line is actually hilarious. Like a lot of people saying it's a diss. People saying it's diss at Kanye. I don't think it was meant to be a diss. I don't think Big Sean was trying to diss Kanye in this instance. But it's a bad look on Kanye because that means Kanye had signed to a slave deal.
Hey man, I'm saying this. All I'm saying is this: Big Sean's put out his 4th album, 6th release. Also, he said last month he's starting a record label.
So great for him.
Does that mean he's no longer a good music artist?
No.
He at the end.
I think he's still a good music artist because he's I don't know. Can you not be signed to a label but they still own your masters? Yeah,
yes.
They can. Yeah.
Because honestly, because that's the difference between like Drake and Nicki, for instance. They put out about the same amount of albums. Drake's put out like 50 mixtapes, collab albums, blah blah blah. Yeah. I was talking to Daniel. He's like, yeah, Nicki has like a 10 album deal. I was like, I would assume Drake would have something similar. If we add all that shit together, then probably those little projects add up. So when we look towards that Metro Boomin tape in 2088, do those count towards the total? There was a whole thing about Meg Thee Stallion. Did this count? Is this a mixtape? Is this an album? She ended up getting out of the deal. It seems as though those little projects might count. And Big Sean say starting his own label. Is Big Sean still a good music artist after this last album? Who knows?
Something to definitely monitor. If he's getting his own independent label, then I'd like to think he's probably got some under good.
That nigga say good one time that last album.
I didn't either. So it's funny.
He 7 favorite ad lib.
He only mentioned good this album because, or not this album. He only mentioned good in this instance because he was free from his slave deal. That's the only reason why he brought them up. Yeah. You know the whole squabble.
His money, getting his masters.
Everything that Kanye's been doing. You got Sci-Hi the Prince playing cheerleader on the sideline and co-signing everything he's doing, and you got John Legend speaking up and saying how Kanye wrong. You got Common and them speaking. Big Sean been quiet for like the past 3 years on all of this.
I thought he trying to put out his album to get out.
Wait, didn't he tweet something like 2 weeks ago? Because like Kanye was talking about like giving everybody they masters back.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, he was like appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm saying because that directly impacted him.
Hey, just like when Lil Wayne and Birdman was beefing, we hear Drake say nothing about that situation.
Nothing.
You say, hey, I'm getting out of here.
Music.
Hey,
Big Sean ain't said a word for like the past 4 years and spoke on Kanye. It wasn't until Kanye said, "I'm giving Big Sean his money." He said, "Thank you, Kanye." I gotta go back and look. I'm actually curious how often he's actually tweeted Kanye like in the past 5 years. Just Kanye's been kind of like on these streets of consciousness.
I'm gonna keep real with you. If I was Big Sean, I would have been trying to. When Kanye said he was doing fashion, I would have been like, "All right, it's time to go." It's time to go. Like if you start, like think about it. Somebody signed you to a label and one of they just say, "Hey, remember I was running this label? Yeah, I quit. I'm giving it to Pusha T. I'm going to do fashion. Y'all have fun." At that moment, I would have been like, you know what? It's time to go.
Hey, Pusha T probably pulled the contract out the drawer and told Big Sean, "You sound to one nigga, sound you can't leave."
Hey man,
you stuck here.
I can never stop thinking about that line now. This nigga just got 50% of his masters back last week. Push, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Hey man, he was saying Wayne had the worst. It'd be like that.
No man, that's a funny shit.
Sound like because no, Kanye said I'm giving y'all back 50%, the 50% that I own, the 50 I own. Who owns the rest?
Also, Birdman, Wayne. How was your Wayne? Your Wayne a lot for him.
I'm gonna tell you also it's also
the Birdman.
I also think it's just funny how the Big Sean said, "Thanks, Kanye. This gonna help a lot," as if he was struggling before Kanye gave him his. Thanks, Kanye. This is gonna help a lot. Niggas eating beans out of can.
Help a lot though.
Before Kanye gave him his pass.
Sean grocery shopping at Dollar General.
Yeah, that's really why he went vegan.
Hey man, that's why he scooped to Ariana. Living off that bag.
Yeah, man. He had to get a sugar mama.
Make him sound like Pete Davidson.
Oh, man. Hey, Pete out here eating, man. Pete out here doing the movies. He doing SNL. He got that bag right now.
But before we go on, a couple more lines I did like from that Big Sean verse. To paint the picture, I can't look the same in my before and afters. Honestly, I'm probably gonna be booked till I'm on my next chapter. Swear it's labels.
Can space.
Where it's labels that's up B's that owe me M's to them. That shit is like, geez, niggas ain't grease a disease. I was like, wait a minute, man.
This nigga keep talking about getting old money. That sounds like a free man. That sounds like a newly freed man. Oh my god.
Nah, what I tell you, man, that nigga was starving. Hey, this brother was starving.
And y'all tried to tell me Big Sean wasn't elite out here.
A-Core, come on now. You know I'm dying on that Big Sean hill.
Oh, this was an elite verse though. Like this was very, very much timely. I appreciate it, Big Sean. You've gotten a lot of slander from me, from the world. But you know, I'm always gonna be the first.
Just you.
Props.
Just you.
No, just me.
Just
I'm the
you.
only one to do that.
Just you.
Big Sean is Big Sean, the Jimmy Butler of the hip hop world.
Yes,
Bro, I was just
you
gonna
know
say
what?
that. I was just
You
gonna
know
say that.
I used to say he was Paul George. Nah, man, Big Sean showed up.
I think he's Jimmy Butler.
It's Jimmy Butler. It's Jimmy Butler.
You'd love to see it. But
Let's see.
going talk about the finals, but talking about the finals in the less brighter note. NBA ratings are down. They're the lowest they've been.
Wait. You gotta say it like Trump. The ratings are down.
The ratings are down. They're doing bad.
Terrible. Bad.
Numbers never been this low. Never been. Never. Numbers were great when never mind. I'm done with this.
When I was rocking with them.
Jordan, I talking a country accent for an hour and a half for an episode. You couldn't do 30 seconds of Donald Trump.
Donald Trump is hilarious, man. But anyway, yeah, Trump's numbers are down too. But yeah, the NBA rating numbers are down across the board, leading to many people to speculate what it is. It's streaming. Is it the fact that they're playing in September when the MLB, NFL, and every other league in the world is playing? Is it because everybody's tired of watching LeBron in the finals, or nobody wanted to see the Heat in the finals because they thought it was going to be an easy finals? Is it because
it's election year?
It's election year. People are caring about that. Like, you know, you got the debates and things going on every other night. You know, Game 6 is about to be on Sunday. It's about to be on Sunday. They're about to play an NBA Finals game on Sunday. Day football, and also is it or is it the Black Lives Matter emblem on the court, guys?
Hey, before you ask the question, Jordan, do we see? Look at the score right now. Look at the score of the game.
That's what you want us to watch.
Oh man.
Believe it or not,
the fact that LeBron and AD are still on this court is hilarious.
Believe it or not, the Lakers won this game.
Dun, dun, dun.
They're the Clippers.
Ouch.
Sheesh. Come on.
Doc Rivers gonna win. You gotta worry about it no more.
Yeah, you're right.
So, like I said, I asked y'all a bunch of things, but let me read this little excerpt from this article that I was reading the other day, and it was talking about what Adam Silver thinks is the reason why the ratings are down. Silver has made general comments that could signal a belief that the emphasis on Black Lives Matter has resulted in a ratings fall. Silver said next season he doubts players will be permitted to wear social justice messages on their jerseys, and the Black Lives Matter logo isn't expected to be on the floors of home arenas. The commissioner is wary if these worthy gestures continue next season, a certain amount of fatigue would offset the messaging. You guys think that Adam Silver has a point? Like, what do you guys think about the final? What do you think about what Adam Silver said, and what do you guys think about also about the ratings being down across the board?
I'm gonna tell you who has a point. That man in Brooklyn that y'all slandered and killed, drug his name through the mud. Y'all know who I'm talking
Spencer
about.
Dinwiddie. I do that twice an episode. That shit.
I was just about to say that never gets old.
Every episode.
I remember it like it was yesterday. He just hating on LeBron. He just mad I ain't let him in the bubble. What you talking about? We need to play. Playing go help us. Playing go do this. And don't get me wrong, I respect everything the players is done. But what does it change? And what does it help?
Nothing.
I think Kyrie was right. Lou Will was right. Pat Bev was right. It was a distraction. And the league made it sound like it was going to help black people. And once again, we have been tricked, bamboozled, and led astray by the white man. It happens time and time again. All I'm saying is this. The league whole job was to get money. Not playing was going to make them lose money. They convinced y'all to come in and you gonna put the patches on you can kneel because they thought they would get their money back. And now they realize that the average American don't want to see. So all that woke talk, all that we rocking with you, we standing with our brothers and sisters in arms through the revolution. When the dollar start going down, they turn in their backs. And now the NBA players finna see it. They finna treat y'all niggas like y'all in the NFL. He ain't no different from Roger Goodell. And I've been trying to tell y'all. Did. Kyrie been trying to tell y'all that you want somebody to stand up for you, you gotta make your own league. Because at the end of the day, green dollars matter more than black lives to these people. It is what it is. Sorry.
And the funny thing about one second.
Go ahead.
The funny thing about everything that you just said, if Adam Silver would have just not publicly made those comments, none of that would matter.
True.
It's very discouraging to see him say that.
It's the fact that he straight up said it. Like, he tried to, like, flip this guy. He was like, I tried the ball.
He could have said, hey,
I'm sorry.
He could have said the factuals, the TV ratings across everything are down.
Yeah.
He could have said that. Literally could have said that, and that would have been his answer to whoever asked that question. But he decided to go out there knowing he has a 97% black league. None of that would have mattered if he just didn't say those comments publicly.
Yeah. I'm very surprised by that. That was an easy out. Ratings are down across the board. Stream, the fact that we're competing on the same day is football, saying things like that. Like those are obvious outs. Like the thing is, and that's like
and the World Series.
Yeah, like it's so
the
much
playoffs, not the World Series.
This is so much going on, and yet he chose to go this route, and I just don't understand why. Before you go, Corey, what's so interesting about this is that also I think, if I'm not mistaken, I also saw that Game 5 was the first game that was televised in China somewhere.
Yep.
And it's the first time that something had been televised in China since everything happened with Daryl Moore. So like it looks like we're even backtracking on that.
Bingo.
So like
I don't think we put out of China. I think China. That was a weird statement. I don't think we stopped. I think China cut it off with. It wasn't weird until I was about to flip it. But yeah, China stopped playing with us. So I mean, I guess I don't know how
And that's what I was about to say. What he is telling us that he is getting to the point to where from the moment he came into the league, all the woke stuff, all the social justice warrior talk, he was with it. But it has affected the bottom line. It has affected the dollar. Players, general managers, team owners speaking out on everything is, in his eyes, has hurt the league. If Darren Moore never spoke out against China, they still begin to Chinese bag. If LeBron didn't speak out against the cops, you know what I'm saying? Like he looking at it like the NFL players don't really speak up that much. And when Colin Kaepernick did what he did, it shook the league because it don't happen that often. But we used to be like, we do that all the time in the NBA, to the point where they made it a normal thing. And now they lost so much money. He looking at it like, I'm finna nip this in the bud. We ain't putting no more politics in the sports because to them, they lose money.
What and then what after that? Well,
Jonathan Isaacs for MVP.
After that, now we have to look at how the NBA players go back and respond to this.
Yep.
It's one thing we have to remember about the position of the commissioner, and this isn't to excuse his comments. This is just to little comment. He is not the boss of the owners.
That's fact.
We may think that just because he works for the owners. Now the owners individually more sway here and there, But if they all look around like, hey, why are we losing money? That guy, they do have,
he got to answer to them.
He on salary. He is on salary. They want profit. So I don't expect him to. At which point they start hemorrhaging money to be like, that guy. But it's still disappointing to see.
I'm gonna tell you what, Corey. You don't
disappointing, but not surprised.
I'm gonna tell you what, Corey. You never mess with the money, A-Train.
Never mess with the money.
If you don't own it, don't mess with the money.
Don't ever.
And I'm talking about they was on ESPN killing Kyrie. What you mean make your own league? Adam Silver the best GM. We never he the best. We never had. Look at what he doing for the player.
Hold on, time out.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly.
You know what I'm talking about.
Exactly. The guy who says. The guy who
bird brain.
The guy who, when he speaks, he says something. You talking about that guy?
The man, when he speaks, he says something. The flamethrower him.
The 11th man on the bench in his one championship.
Why they got him in a flamethrower like he was a shooter or something?
That was the worst. Like everything about that was Sports Illustrated. Every single thing about that cover was the worst thing I've ever seen about a cover. Everything.
It was very bare too. Like, you know how you always.
It's like, but they tried to turn the thing into the Human Torch. What's wrong with them?
The thing is, like, it's usually like you can get a cover, it's like it's like words and things surrounding the person about what's gonna be in the issue. Yeah. It was just him. I don't know why he gets a cover with just him on it.
Just him.
It was just him. His hands on fire, and the words when he speaks, he says something. I think that just perfectly encapsulated
Joe Budden basketball.
He's worse.
Bro, not even Joe Budden. That nigga DJ Envy fan.
Nah,
he ain't Joe Budden.
I don't even know if he's that, man. I'm trying to think of a better example.
Well, my point was he wasn't getting no covers as a player.
Big fact. Yeah,
okay,
all right, Joe Budden it is.
It's spot on. What about my son, Papoose?
No, nobody cares about Papoose.
My son,
who cares what Papoose got to say?
You don't respect Black Love? Oh, I'm finna get Twitter on you for that one.
All right. Before Black Twitter gets here, let's move on to the next topic.
I'm calling Dr. Umar.
I'm gonna talk to you guys.
We still have topics.
Let me talk to you guys about this black and white picture. This is Reason's album cover for his new album that just released.
Well, I had no clue what that was.
Hey, listen, before we go any further, Core, did you listen to this album?
Hell no.
Cam, did you listen to this album?
I did not.
I didn't listen to this album.
Oh, man.
That man asked me did I listen to Reason.
Oh, no.
Right, so, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Hey, no, listen. I started to, and then I was like, and then did anything else. But Savage Mode 2 started hitting a little differently this weekend.
I've been
stepping. Oh my god!
I've been studying so hard. It's been kind of a chore to get to music and actually listen to it and consume it enough to listen to the podcast. Actually, have a thought on it. So we weren't gonna really get into it. It's more, I was gonna ask you guys, was this album worth the wait? But seeing the fact that none of you got eager to listen to it,
that's all.
Ask me.
Listen.
Man, this whole week I listen to Reason.
My last 7 days is trying to force myself to listen to Jay Electronica and listen to Reason while Savage Mode 2 is sitting right there. Man, I ain't trying to do that.
Hey, no. Core turned into Logic. I don't know who that is.
No, because you had the picture. I'm like, bro, is this like a painting or something? Is this like an artwork? What is this? Like this Reason. I'm like, oh, damn.
And he said this black and white picture. I was like, okay,
was this on the topic list?
That's nice.
Yes, it was.
Who was this on the topic list? Who suggested this? Who put this on here?
I don't know.
This
is the first. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. This is the first.
No, it is, and
and I disrespect the Reason. It just threw me off. I'm gonna listen to it one day, someday.
Nah, man, because the margin of time we have to listen to these albums, right? It's Thursday night, Friday. We record on Saturday morning. So if I want to listen to something Thursday, I gotta be excited for it.
And
if I was to it Friday, I was like. Ooh,
and this is the worst part. Usually when an album dropped the TL, it'd be like, hey, check this out. The only thing I didn't heard about Reason is Mac Miller. I thought he just dropped a song or something.
No, the only thing I heard about Reason was the Mac Miller line, and then everyone being like, that's all right. And that's it. Like, it's good. good.
It's actually good. People were begrudgingly having to admit that it was actually a decent to good listen. Because a lot of people without he sucked. It was they were bad mouthing him because for good reason because reason does tend to be a dork a lot on the internet.
That man's 30.
And his music.
Yeah, is it?
Yes,
no.
he's
30 years old.
I told somebody somebody on Twitter said this is a young man mistake, and I said that man is older than
this is prime.
This man's older than me. That is not a young man mistake. He is old enough to know better. He is.
Hey, he's Kendrick Lamar's little bro. That nigga's 2 years younger.
Cole, you say he what now?
Actually.
Wait, what else they on it, man?
Nah, I lost it that quick. Damn, I'll hear when I run this episode back. Damn, what did Corey just say? Corey said, "This is prime, boy. You wild."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this might be his prime. Like,
no, this is rookie year. Come on now.
Jesus Christ, that nigga.
This is Andre Ingram.
Nah,
that boy hooping in Russia for 8 years. Came to the. Is he Milos Teodosic?
I was just about to say that.
Milos.
Milos, fam. I was just about to say that. 30-year-old rookie. Oh man. So that's all.
Nah. Scratch that. This entire year has been, we want TDE, and they're like, we got something. And it's been reason every time, and I'm tired of it. I don't care if this album is good, fam. If they would have just gave us no reason through all year and then gave us the album, I would have took time on my day to listen to it. But time and time again, they have clickbaited us to reason, and I'm tired of it. I ain't listening to no more reason to 2021. I listen. What was the name of that song? I don't even remember the name of the song, but it was talking about everybody. And I heard that song. You said what?
I said that's when he lost me. I didn't. Yeah. I was like, because I ignored all the Twitter antics. I ignored when he dropped that. I was like,
what was it? Might not make it. Was it might not make it? Might not happen.
Yeah, might not make it.
That is where I draw the line. Reason is on suspension until further notice. 2021. When I hear Kendrick, that's when I listen to Reason. Until then, he don't exist. I don't know what that album cover is.
Reason said, it didn't have all the Kendrick ad-libs I wanted. I pushed for more, but, we're out. Oh, you couldn't get the Kendrick ad-libs? That's where you are?
It's funny.
Kendrick gave out ad-libs. Well, no, Schoolboy Q said Kendrick walked in the studio and gave me ad-libs. I'm like, hey, we good? He's like, nah, I'm going to give you more. You out there begging for more ad-libs?
Everyone, we want TDE music. We got something special for y'all. Friday come. It's Reason. Next week, we got something else. We got a new single. We got some sizzle. Nah, that's my Reason. What?
I told y'all in March, TDE is gonna put out the Reason album during the quarantine, so they have an excuse not to roll him out on a concert, not to roll him out on a tour. I told y'all they were gonna do that. I said, hey, TDE, if y'all gonna do it, it has to be now, cause niggas ain't gonna go. Or nigga,
I said this 2 months ago. If y'all could at least give me Lance Skywalker or Sir or somebody, but y'all just kept they mysterious core. They talking about TD like they work in mysterious ways, core. we can't anticipate what they got coming next, and it's every time is Reason. I'm tired of it, fam. I can't take this no more. This whole year been an L for TDE, and I don't want to hear them till they drop the big wigs, the big names.
Everybody else but Reason.
Tired of these niggas, man.
For once you guys...
We got more reason. What was the reason for Reason?
There was no logic in the Reason.
Thank you. I have no other words. Y'all said all the words. Y'all said every word. I'm sorry for putting this on the agenda, so we'll talk about...
That's crazy.
We'll talk
I can't
about...
believe you.
Hold on. Time out. Let me go. Before we start the next topic. That shit is still funny because Kendrick give ad-libs to everybody on that label.
Everybody.
He doing Baby Keem ad-libs before he's doing Reason ad-libs. Like,
Kendrick.
Baby Keem features, directors, signing, like everything.
Nigga, Kendrick on R&B on the R&B Mates albums doing ad-libs. Like he on Sir and SZA album doing ad-libs and like Reason on here begging.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna tell you.
Oh my god!
I'm sure Kendrick's a very mad nigga right now. He's sick of all of it. He told
Man, scratch it. Why was he talking to a Blues Clues doll the other day? What was up with that?
Okay, so it's been like a running joke. Well, I guess it's not so much a joke, but like every time Kendrick been spotted in public for like the past like 2-ish to 3-ish years, he's had like some kind of cap on his head. So everybody been speculating that like he has some kind of weird hairdo that he's covering up and don't want nobody to see. And like every time, like he took a photo with somebody, he had like a hoodie on. You know, he pulled a hoodie real tight so you can barely see your face. Like he had it like that. We have not seen Kendrick Lamar's like bare face and head in years, and y'all just don't realize it. As a Kendrick, because I'm a Kendrick Lamar stan, quote unquote, I know this. Y'all have not seen Kendrick Lamar's head in years. And so it's funny. He put the Blues Clues thing in his face just so we would not know what he looks like. So we still don't know exactly what Kendrick Lamar looks like right now.
What?
Nobody has actually really seen what he like his whole face and hair. We have not seen it in over a year or so. I don't know why he's hiding it, but some people think he might have went bald.
What, they got like little pump dreads or something? Like, what's going on?
I don't know. I don't know.
The mysteriousness, the mysteriousness and the attention he's able to garner is amazing, man. It's amazing.
No, it is. It is. And like I said, it's so funny that people instead of getting music, people spent the last 4 years since Damn came out, or like 3 years since Damn came out, trying to figure out what his hairdo is. That's all we have. That's all we have.
Music that bad, man.
We ain't getting the music, so we might as well talk about something else.
And the thing is, I kind of don't blame because Kendrick fans like so crazy. If he pull up with a certain hairdo, y'all gonna be like, "Oh, this what the album gonna be." He got cornrows. But you know that the slaves put cornrows in their head to navigation through the rows of corn to freedom. It gonna be all out by Negroes. Like, man,
wait, is that real Cord?
Is
that real?
Cord and Kendrick,
it might be.
That's deep. That's some deep shit.
In Kendrick fans' defense, everything he does is very intentional. And that nigga did rap about his cornrows like 8 times on that last album. Cornrow Kenny.
Kenny.
Yeah, he did mention like
Kenny's gonna put on some dreads. He's going through a spiritual reawakening. He is not a Rastafarian, which means we are getting the ghost of Bob Marley to do the intro. Ziggy Marley gonna do all the hooks.
I would say this. I like Kendrick's attitude in that video. I hate he had to get up and like even address this stuff about him leaving TDE. But I like that he's like he told Punch, I hear all of it. I'm sick of them how they speaking on my name. I'm glad he's sick of it. I need that energy in the booth. But obviously he's not in the booth. He's playing with his daughter. So, you know, ain't no telling when we get the album.
Also, last thing.
You got a kid?
Before we go on, I just find it funny how Reason put out every fucking single in the world besides Isaiah Rashad and JID. I
love that song.
That's the one I listen to. He put out the song where he's talking about everybody in the world. He put out he put out all of them except for Isaiah Rashad. The one that probably would have garnered the most attention.
Yeah.
And JID, who's always good with that group.
Yeah, Quasi number one.
Quasi number one.
I can't believe TDE. I can't believe this.
I can.
I'm tired of them folks.
They showed me their hand the entire year, man. I saw it coming. I'm like surprised. Oh, a Reason album? Yes, a Reason album. That's what they've been promoting for the past 8 months.
Don't forget about that TDE week where we got Lance Skywalker,
we don't
Throwaways from Sir, Reason again.
Yeah,
has any rapper gotten this much promo from like a top tier like I ain't like they pushed this man all year, and every time we pushed back, we kept saying no, stop, and they just kept coming.
I can't wait to see these first week numbers. That's all I'm gonna say about that. So let's move on to the last topic, which was Cam's topic. He wanted to talk about the Indiana Pacers, and despite the fact that these two were smiling in this picture, they are very much not happy in Indiana.
For him,
Miles Turner's dreads have been the same length for like 4 years.
I assume he cuts them because they are. I assume he cuts them in some shape or fashion because they do not get any longer.
Just go ahead, Miles. Come on now.
But you don't cut dreads, do you?
No, you don't. But he has to because his dreads have been the same length.
They ain't moved like at all.
Maybe his hair just growing slow.
They were that length when you dropped it. I'm telling you.
Go on, pull a fade while I put the weave in it. We ain't gonna say nothing.
Nah, we gonna go the way. Now you know how off season we come back a little bit buffer. He gonna just come back with longer hair. We ain't gonna say nothing.
You gonna say nothing?
I've been growing my hair for 9 months and it's longer than his. That's crazy.
But anyway, these two are very upset about something. Not exactly sure why they're.
Hey man, it was a short week on topics, y'all. We talking about Reason and Miles Turner. It was a short week on topics.
Here at Popular Demand, we don't have all the news, but when we do, we shall update you shortly.
not our best journalism. I think.
I thought it ain't money. It like a money thing.
I'm pretty sure it's a money thing.
Fam, they live in Indiana. They live in Indiana. Like no one wants to live in Indiana.
Yeah, that's true.
The whole team, like one by one, like day after day, like 3 weeks ago. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. No one wants to live in Indiana. That's it.
It's definitely it's definitely a money. It's definitely a money thing for Oladipo, but also it's the fact that he got on. I think it was IG Live. He got on some form of social media. I forgot who he was talking to, and he said that I don't want to beat Charles Barkley, which I thought was hilarious because if he was beating Charles Barkley, he would be somebody. He said I want to be able to show my kids something after I'm when I'm done, like showing what I did, like look what I did. Yeah. So he said to me, it's not the money. I just want to win. So. Two things, like before we even talk about this, before we can talk about the statement one, like I said, he'd be lucky to go his whole career being as good as Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley got an MVP. Charles Barkley can show his kids. I don't know if Charles Barkley like him, but Charles Barkley can show his kids his MVP and be like, "Look what I did."
Olympic gold medal.
I was literally about to say Charles Barkley got a lot of shit to show.
He got a lot of show.
Yeah, he do.
Oladipo.
No, so I thought that.
Win this slam dunk contest.
I think he won. Didn't he win Most Improved Player 1 year?
He did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, It's not MVP though. But anyway,
fast.
MIP. Yeah, close. Missed by a letter.
FIBA basketball bronze medal.
But damn, he did win that.
About it like that.
But damn, what was I going to say? Yeah, so Oladipo
got an R&B plaque.
Yeah, he do. Maybe. I don't know, Corey. That might be the lie. That might be the one lie here.
He performed at the BET Awards.
He might not even.
Yeah, facts, man. Hey, man, Streets told me he won a double copy. You know how they go. 500 copies.
R&B having a hard time these years. Can't blame him. He actually a decent singer. I think he needs to become a better songwriter.
Nah, he's actually like really good. Like nearly almost as good as a basketball player.
Was he on a Masked Singer or did I just make that up? I feel like I made
No, he was on the Masked Singer. He was definitely on.
Okay.
He just needs a better songwriter in his camp. That's all it is. Cause I ain't really feeling what he's been laying down. Pause. But like I was trying to say, relax, Cord. What I was trying to say is this: that one, he'd be lucky to be that good anyway. First and foremost. Second, where do you guys think Oladipo goes? Like he's saying that he don't care about the money. So that pretty much puts a lot of places in play.
I was hoping you took this route. So the places that I would like to see him go, I don't know what it would take for him to get these places, but places that I've seen that I think are most attractive are Brooklyn, Philadelphia, and Miami. I would love to see those. I would love to see those three places. I want to stay in the East because the East is just so deprived of talent. If we're being honest, and there are a couple teams I don't know about. I thought about Milwaukee, but I don't know what Milwaukee has to give up. But definitely the one that sticks out the most is Brooklyn. If they were able to keep KD and Kyrie and then get Oladipo in the building somehow, I mean, definitely
dangerous.
It would be a dysfunctional group, but it would be a dangerous group and a team that if they're gonna play iso ball, they probably got three guys who and also they're gonna need their perimeter defender as well in Oladipo.
I'm gonna have to look at
Kyrie and Oladipo
in the backcourt.
Jesus.
So I would love to see that one, but I also think that it would take a lot. They would have to probably lose a lot of depth to get him. So I don't know.
They won't lose that much depth because I don't think he's due for like a super max, nothing like that. I mean, they could always do a sign and trade with the Nets.
I'm pretty sure Dinwiddie and what's the spot up shooter dude? Joe Dinwiddie Harris.
I think,
and they also got Karis LeVert over there too.
Yeah, I think Dinwiddie.
They would definitely want Karis LeVert.
Dinwiddie is a free agent. I think Joe Harris might be a free agent. So if they wanted Dinwiddie, Dinwiddie would have to voluntarily sign with the Pacers to make that work. So Dinwiddie would have to want to go there. They could always do a sign and trade with Karis LeVert and Oladipo, but then it's a matter of how much better you think current Oladipo is, then possibly Karis LeVert could possibly become in that role. You know, it's a matter of guessing. People trying to connect him to the Heat, but it's like I guess he's going to supplement and replace Jimmy Butler in the future. But right now the starting lineup is, I guess I don't know who the point guard's going to be because now that Dragic has torn this plantar. I'm like, how in the world is he going to play? He's 34 years old too, so it's like they're going to get a new point guard.
Ooh.
So do you make Oladipo run the point, Butler to continue with the same setup, or I don't know exactly what they do. I hope he stays. But I do agree with you, Cam. I do hope he stays in the East. I do not want him going somewhere like the Mavericks. Because the Mavericks need another guy like.
I was about to say, then he's definitely gonna be Charles Barkley if he comes to the West.
Oh man, that's tough. Yeah,
no, he won't be Charles Barkley in the West. I'm disrespectful to Charles.
We forgetting something now. We forgetting. You always got a trick up his sleeve. The sports might make something happen.
I'd be so.
I'm not.
Cause let me tell you, if they get Oladipo, it's gonna be real shaky out here. I ain't gonna hold you.
No, it's gonna be real quiet.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I tried my best to try to make him fit in Phoenix, and it just didn't work in my head.
It don't.
But I tried.
Yeah.
The number one pick for Oladipo.
No, he's not on that list. He's not on that list.
Okay. What about Malik Beasley and Culver?
Hold on, man.
I like Malik Beasley too much. Malik Beasley's a free agent.
What? You really don't rock Oladipo? That would sound like.
No, I rock with Oladipo. I just like
what? Malik Beasley?
Okay.
The second most known Beasley person?
Hey Cam, he must be smoking with Beasley on.
Come on now.
You gotta be.
You gotta do that. Witnesses say he innocent. Witnesses say he innocent. Witnesses say.
Now I'm gonna say this. I would love if Philly can't get Buddy Hield, I go Oladipo. Tobias Harris Oladipo, who says no?
Why not Milwaukee?
Probably Indiana because they're cheap. Milwaukee, would they?
Let me see. I'm trying to see who's going to have.
Would they have to go like DiVincenzo and a Pitt and?
So the teams are going to have.
They about to have nothing with them.
Man, that's a bad return for Oladipo.
So the teams that will have cap space.
They don't want to pay him.
The teams who have real cap space. Let's see. Minnesota have $13 million that they can spend. Under the cap. Toronto, so they can give like a 13 mil a year type deal of some sort. Toronto will have 19 mil. Phoenix will have 20. Miami will have 24. Charlotte will have 28. The Pelicans have 29 if they don't re-sign everybody. Sacramento 30. Detroit 37. New York Knicks 47. And then the Atlanta Hawks will have like 49. 49. So go preface back to what Oladipo said. There's only like one team on here with money that could realistically go to and be, part of a winning culture, and that's the Miami Heat with their 24 mil. They can give him like 20 mil a year to come play there, and like a 20-year, 4-year contract. But they probably wouldn't do that because they eyeballing Giannis. So if he wanted to go to any of these other teams, like he's gonna have to take a pay cut, like a pretty big one. And so we're gonna find out how much he don't care about money. When free agency come around, we'll come back. As Miles Turner, I don't know what his problem is. I could have sworn they gave him the bag. Let me see.
If I had to guess, it'd probably be Sabonis, because Miles Turner was supposed to be the big of the future. Then Sabonis come through, becomes an all-star. Now he getting the touches and minutes.
Yeah. They gave Miles Turner a 4-year, $80 million contract, so he's making $20 million a year. That's pretty good for the caliber player he is.
At least Minnesota got the Mall of America. What does Indiana have?
Mike Pence.
Word to what's that boy name that's not in the league because he got suspended that 1 year in Indiana?
OJ Mayo?
Yeah, no.
OJ Mayo.
Tyreek Evans.
Evans.
We were close enough.
Same vein.
Tyreek.
Got suspended off them drugs.
I'm mad at over y'all head.
Allegedly.
No, I caught it. The
Okay,
same thing. I caught it.
I'll tell you about it later. But all right, that's all I got. You guys got any closing thoughts?
Hey man, Breonna Stewart is on the way to be the greatest WNBA player of all time. Salute to her.
It can't be while Maya Moore is alive, but it's okay, Core. We can talk about it again. You showed me that rings picture. We went to the same categories of championships that Maya Moore had, and Maya Moore had more by about
She got drafted to a
by about 4 or 5.
I don't know what you're talking about. We talking about 2 Finals MVPs, 2 MVPs, couple college rings, couple European rings.
All that is less.
She did more with less.
These WNBA resumes are ridiculous.
Bro, I'm telling you, they be winning.
Another reason is why, because they don't make enough money in the WNBA, so they are forced to go across or overseas and play in China and these Euro leagues. So that's why Maya Moore also has about 18 more chips because they don't pay her enough.
18. How long has Maya Moore been playing basketball?
I ain't gonna hold you. She got a couple Chinese rings. She
got 3 Chinese rings, 2 Euro rings.
It's like Jesus Christ,
in the off season,
It's the same year too. Like, man, like a 3-month WNBA season,
you get drafted to the WNBA, get a ring. Then in the off season, you get a Chinese ring, and then you come back and get another WNBA ring,
and then you go back and get a Euro ring.
The WNBA is low key what Adam Silver wants the NBA season be, where it's like multiple championships you could win in a single year.
Yeah.
But no, it's not gonna. We never getting that. We're not getting that.
But all right, the bubble 2021. Bring back the bubble 2021.
No, the bubble bowl.
Last
thing. Go ahead.
Last thing I gotta say, LeBron, you made the right play in Game 5. Don't let nobody tell you didn't. But sometimes you made the right play. Sometimes you gotta make the play.
Shut up, Cam.
Also, Lakers, listen to me.
Cam put it on a graphic. I'll put a picture of just Cam.
If any Laker fans is listening, I'm gonna tell you what I told my coworker yesterday. Do not blow a 3-1 lead because you want to keep a certain player in the game. Get Danny Green off the court in the last 2 minutes.
No, wait.
Do not blow a 3-1 lead because you want to keep one player in. And also, it really wasn't Danny Green's fault. That was a bad pass from LeBron and Rondo snuck it up.
No, listen.
He had 4 people guarding him. Of course, it was gonna be a bad pass.
Stop it. First, that man, it was a whatever pass. He had 12 seconds on the clock. Nobody chased after. Nobody closed out. He could have done it. Secondly, Marquise Morris got the rebound and just.
Now I don't know what he
had 6.5 seconds on the clock. He just stood there. Danny Green was right behind him, open. Danny Green could have got a second shot. No, Morris was like. And just threw it 1 second left. But also, since Jaquez is here, I'm going to make his point for him. Why is everybody mad at Danny Green, who shot 3 for 8, when Rondo shot 1 for 7,
Bingo.
when Morris had a negative 13 plus minus? He like, hey, I don't know, man.
Because we are mad because we don't expect him scoring out of Rondo, so we're not going to be too mad at him. Markieff Morris, he probably making like $1 million a year. This nigga Danny Green got a 2-year, $30 million contract to make threes, to be a 3-and-D player.
Listen,
this nigga ain't 3
Listen, Markieff Morris could have handled the ball back. Y'all knew that, though. Shot. Second off, Rondo, we don't expect him to score. Last game, he scored his first bucket with like 20 seconds left and had an amazing game otherwise. This game, he was detrimental, shot 1 for 7. Last game, he just didn't shoot.
Man,
what I'm saying is this. The Lakers chose to pay that man $15 million. Y'all knew he wasn't Fred VanVleet. Why give him that money?
The bar is on the floor. Oh, my God.
Man, that's all I'm saying.
On the floor.
I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying, like the dude I work with, he was talking like Danny Green was like just like some. Like, don't get me wrong, Danny Green has his moments, but we all know he is streaky. He has always been streaky.
When was the last streak? A good one. When was the last good streak?
When he got championship last year.
I'm about to cry.
What he have to do with that?
Nah, he'll bad. He'll bad them too.
Hey, but he had like 2-3 though.
All right. All right.
Like I said, they
Hey,
gave him $15
he
million.
ain't quite
That
Alex
sound like a
Caruso,
personal
my
problem to
guy.
me.
He ain't
Hey,
quite
All I'm saying
Alex
is this:
Caruso.
Laker fans is on Twitter. How didn't Rob Pelinka get GM of the year? Now you see why.
Hey,
Hey, hey,
Just
Bron.
saying.
If Danny Green is open, you take that shot with 4 people on you.
Like, that's it. Like, Jordan threw it to Kerr. He threw it to Paxson. I'm like, well, they're significantly better shooters.
Yeah.
than Danny Green.
Yeah, he threw it to
Hey,
white
Danny
niggas that
Green
can
ain't hit a
shoot.
shot this whole playoffs. Why y'all still got that man on the court? Hey,
That's another issue.
Listen, 2K logic. That was supposed to be the one. You miss every shot all game. But
Yeah,
then the game winner,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the one.
And I'm gonna say this: that would have been a fire legacy move for Danny Green and LeBron. He missed every shot, but the one shot he made it matters. That's why LeBron's the best passer. It would have been amazing.
Fair
And
difference.
you gotta love
better.
LeBron because I was about to say you gotta love LeBron because 10 times
He
out of 10,
believed
if
him.
the opportunity arises again, he's gonna pass that ball to Danny Green again.
Absolutely.
Is that faith in Danny Green or
Faith in the process.
Oh,
Let's not
Skip
get
Bayless boys.
disrespectful.
Skip Bayless boys.
Let's not get
Skip Bayless. Was he scared to go to the line? Was he scared to go to the?
man?
Was he scared to go to the line?
He definitely gonna make
Let's shake on the
I
free
don't like
throws.
the
A
aspect
little
that
nervous.
you're taking right now, LeBron. I'm not with it.
I mean, I was asking a question.
I'm just asking.
I still blame Marquis more.
I'm just asking.
All right.
He deserves a lot of slander.
That's why they lost that game.
Thank you all for tuning into another episode of Pop of the Man podcast. Tune in next week for another episode of your favorite podcast.